everyone, I'm Liz and I'm a mindset coach. I hope you are fantastic this day, and I intend that you do super well and get a lot out of this short vignette. Now, last summer, actually early last spring of 2021, I was falling asleep listening to crazy conspiracy theories and stories about, the alleged secret space program, UFOs and cryptids, scary stories about hauntings. I was just addicted to this stuff, this negative kind of thrill. And over a few month period, I began to get up later, wake up later, and be tired, be more sad and down and more depressed. There's many times I thought about just quitting working with clients. I thought about just spending down what money I had and to hell with it, frankly. I stopped caring. I stopped dressing up. I stayed in my jammies all day, maybe perhaps did some drinking or just drank too much coffee, was grumpy about the world. I also had a house visitor who was super, super negative and groused about things continually about the house, me, his life. I don't hold him responsible for that, but it didn't help. And after a few months of this, just stinking thinking, I knew I had a choice to make. I had basically a choice to live or die. I was either slowly, rotting on the couch, and I had to, or get up and do something and live my life, live my beautiful life. I could see that this is almost like a parable for myself to see what happens when you do this kind of thing. And I could see what happens to people who just live in negative world all the time. I was so titillated and thrilled by hearing scary stories. I wanted more dogman stories at night. I didn't want to listen to fluffy unicorn farts like, la, 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 life's great, be positive. But like I said, I knew I had a choice to make whether I was going to live or die. I already knew, as a life coach, counselor, pastor, healer, I already knew that my evening was affecting my day. It was affecting my subconscious mind as I fell asleep each night, but I couldn't help it. I was in it. I was in this world. It took me a couple months to get out of it. I was giving negative, scary thoughts, depressing, sad thoughts about the world, geopolitical situation, this and that. I was giving all these horrific thoughts to my subconscious. It was literally beginning to kill me. I was basically suggesting to my subconscious that I have nightmares. I was giving myself bad dreams and nightmares, and giving myself bad days the following day. So I want to talk about how to speak to, love on, and imprint your subconscious with better thoughts and ideas and goals that are really positive, and speak about what happens when we do that. Okay, so let's talk about the nighttime. There's something that we call the hypnagogic state. Now, this happens when you're waking up, and it happens when you're going to bed. I teasingly call it the hypnogroggy state. It's that state when you're waking up in the morning and you kind of feel like you half remember a dream. Maybe it's pleasant, like, oh, am I awake? Yeah. Okay. A few more minutes. And some people have a sleep paralysis at this time. It's that sleepy state where the conscious mind is veiled or kind of wide open, so that you can access the subconscious much more easily and talk to it, because the subconscious is your programming. And there's good parts to the program, as I call the paradigm, and there's ill-serving parts. So it can begin to train you. It's like a computer system to think or do certain things, because, as I keep telling everyone, your subconscious actually rules the roost. That is the part of you that reaches out to infinite intelligence, to God, to source, spirit, the universe, to make your world happen. And if you're training it for negative experiences, guess what it will bring you? You also have a hypnagogic state at night right before sleep, as you're falling asleep, as you're heading to bed. And this is why I teach a sense of allowing at night. There's another concept I want to touch on, which is in the law of assumption, Neville Goddard world, they talk about SATs, which is state akin to sleep. I think it's an awkward way to talk about it. I just call it the alpha state. But my point is, you can get into that state as well during the day if you find a way to put yourself in alpha. The Silva method has a way. The Gateway Monroe Institute system has a way. You can count to 10, get yourself into like a little bit of hypnotic state or a relaxed meditative state. There's lots of ways to do that. You could hit me up if you want some ideas, but you can find a way. So that point is basically you can get into this state any time of day, but we fall asleep every night, most nights. So we may as well do it at this time as well. So here's the technique. The last 5 minutes before sleep, as you're getting into that state you'll be in, as you're getting into that sleepy, hypnagogic state, you want to begin thinking about how you'd feel an hour after you achieved your goals. So you've now got the guy, you've got the girl, or you've got the car, you've got the money you want, or you've got the job you desire, you have the business you've wanted to build, you've got the spiritual growth you were aiming for, you have achieved a highest level of service to others, right? How would you be and how would you feel an hour after you've realized this goal? Right. And I don't recommend that you are thinking about being over the moon in excitement, because that begins to imply that it's a rare occurrence and that it's so amazing and rare that, oh my God, I can't believe this happens. I'm not really worthy, but this is an accident. It's more like, oh, this is normal. I always get what I want. I always manifest what I want. Like, this is a great feeling. So how would you feel an hour after you became a millionaire, or hour after you decided you're in a romance with the person of your dreams, or an hour after you realize you've set up your LLC and you have a thriving business for yourself? How would you feel an hour after? It also implies some continuing of the situation, right? So get into that feeling place of how would you be and feel an hour after you've realized your goal. So I recommend you be it, you see it, you feel it, you imagine what you do. And it's not just about, like, here's another point I want to bring up, is you don't have to believe it, and you don't have to be in the best mood when you get started. It's okay to be in a bad mood sometimes, but you don't have to believe it. Don't worry about any imposter syndrome. You have to just, in your imagining state, let's say you don't have flowers on your dining room table, but you really want someone to get you flowers. Well, it's not true that you have flowers, but you can imagine flowers being delivered to the door, what they look like, how you feel when you have them. Will you trim them? Will you add some water to the vase? Will you put it on the table? What would it feel like walking by that bouquet of flowers? You can get to that space while knowing it's not currently true. Make sense? Okay, so while you're falling asleep and you get into that state of already having achieved your goal, you can begin to say things to yourself, such as wealth, success, wealth, success, wealth, success, over and over as you fall asleep, until it's like counting sheep, but instead of counting sheep, you're counting wealth and success until you fall asleep. Or you could say, I am prosperous, I am prosperous, I am prosperous. Or I'm serving at the highest level, I'm serving at the highest level. Or, I'm in a romance with the person of my dreams. I'm in a romance with the person of my dreams. I'm in a romance with the person of my dreams. Or I'm living in Bali. I'm living in Bali. I'm living in Bali. So that's what I have for you today. I just wanted to offer that to you as a suggestion and, give it a try. But it is much more valuable and useful to do this, because as you go to bed thinking on these things, you'll wake up with a better day tomorrow. You will wake up with insights and intuitive hunches and drops and a spidey sense or a gut sense or some sense in your heart, however you like to call it, where some next steps for you, some things that will work and be delightful for you. And you'll wake up earlier, you wake up with a sense of hope and desire and fun, with a better attitude, a better self-confidence, more boldness, right? More comfort, more peace, more drive, and more desire to get your day done in the good way. And it is really true. You could try it both ways. You don't have to go down the bad hole I did. You could just do the good stuff. But I want to share this with you today. So many, many blessings to you. I love coaching people. If you'd like to hit me up on my email below, feel free. I have different coaching packages. In any case, have a wonderful, wonderful day.